It's funny, the, hold on, let me see. Oh, I think I'm on. Oh, okay, cool. Alright, so, well, it's funny, the recording difficulties I had with this particular game, after that first time of trying to get it worked out, I've not had many problems with it at all. Or really, I don't think once since our first, like, it was really not liking it at first, and for some reason it's just, okay now. I don't know how to explain that. It seems to be working a lot better. So ink faded, disappeared a long time ago. Scrolls fell apart. You touch them. We're gonna see it. Make sure there's nothing important here. There came a great disturbance. The town of Lykia and the Navzian Sea, with confusion and flight, and the people fled from the kingdom of Kantar and across the sea, inflicting every kind of punishment upon the people of Lakia. The imperial army, being blessed and varying in design, fell upon the enemy. Slain were the men. Their ships set aflame, and taken them out. Okay, let's continue on. See. Okay, just pretty much nothing here. Okay. Now, I did make sure to talk to the guy this time, if I remember correctly. So we should probably. He did say something was downstairs, but I want to see if I can go upstairs first. And really check this place out. Okay, it doesn't seem like anything's there. Oh, is something outside? Oh no, alchemical. Oh no, oh. Strength, clear the debris. I don't think we're gonna be able to do that, but we'll try. We'll try. Why not? The city lay dead, lay in ruins. The river no longer flows. The mountains tumbled, and the dead did strew the whole land. The wrath of power brought down the wicked kingdoms of Kantar and the glorious empire. The gods returned to their kingless realm, for everyone must go to the place where it comes. Okay, so there's more background story stuff. Oop, hold on. Do we check this one? Okay. Let's keep going. Oh, no, no, no. I don't want to run there. I want to run out. Oh, no. Oh, no. We'll just have to remember it before we leave. In fact, I might go straight up. If I can. If it'll let me. It will. Okay, cool. I don't want to go down there yet. I want to first check this out over here. This is what I want to do. Just double click, see if we can run here. We'll come into shot here pretty soon. Oh, there we go. There's Haita. How you doing, Haita? He's running around. Okay, there we go. Stones are too heavy. Well, that's not surprising, considering our combat prowess. Oh, I think it's one that has to. Can I get over here? Come on. Where is he going? Oh, there he goes. Alright, go downstairs. There we go. So we've been, ooh, man, last time was a slog, wasn't it? Last time was a slog of a fight because of how terrible our combat skills on this character is. But surprisingly, hold on. Surprisingly, our combat skills with the sword somehow came in handy, considering we have no combat skill on the sword. Somehow having this two-handed sword outperformed every other, thing we could do. So, in fact, actually, do we have skills? Skill points? We have some, but I have to think about it. Okay, war did come, and like an army, like the army who brought it, the magnitude humbled all that came before. Men and towns are burned alike, and even the seas stirred with fury of war. With the fury of war, the sun became night, and the moon ceased to shine. The war continued with the passing of many years, and although countless thousands had died, the Kantari servants of power called upon the gods of chaos, who came forth like an eruption, consuming the armies and fleets of men. Sounds almost like a Warhammer. When said like that. Oh, it's the same thing. So it's probably going to be the same way over here, where both sides will say the same thing, yeah. Oh, ancient machinery. Let's check this out. Lore and crafting. If as much as we've invested into this stuff, it better work. Success. As far as you can tell, it's a generator built after the fall of the Empire. Which, hold on, turn down the sound in the background a little bit. Excuse me. Which explains its design, less reliant on otherworldly energies and things man wasn't meant to know. It runs on oil, with the parts that inject the oil into the main chamber and air valve. The intake are missing, and the rest you can do without, considering that you only need the fearsome engine of destruction to report for duty one last time. Come to think about it, you could probably do without the fuel injector and rig up some very temporary and something very temporary and hope that the machine doesn't blow up in your face. Sure. It takes a while, but eventually the air valve is restored to its rightful place. So, crafting intelligence, do you really need an oil injector to make this thing work? Surely you can do it without it. Let's try it. Ah, thank you. Our skill investment is finally paying off. Well, it's paid off a few times, lore-wise, but we missed probably where would have been most important earlier. Or at least I might be overrating the ring that we ended up giving to that robot. Like, not that we could have really demanded it from him. It takes you the better part of a day to rig up a new and improved fuel injector, good for 5 minutes of work or less, and hook it up to the machine. For a half-baked solution, it really is a thing of beauty and a testament to human ingenuity. You gain a new... Okay, we gain insight. Add oil and you're good to go. 5 jars should be enough. Okay, well, then where are we going to find 5 jars of oil? Unless it's... Oh, okay. Automatic. You pray to anyone who might listen. Fill up the lubrication and cooling pipes and light up the ignition torch. The machine responds by emitting a terrible noise and leaking oil and black smoke. It backfires a few times and suddenly comes to its senses and switches to a low humming sound. A moment later, lights flicker and come to life. You gain new insight into liberal arts and trades. This can be used to increase... Oh, I don't need to read that. Alright. Generator's running. So we got light. Ooh, that looks like a safe kind of area. Lore success, you find some crumbling scroll depicting an ancient diagram and some comments in a language you recognize. It's also down here, if I remember correctly, right? It seems that the... Hold on. Where's recognized? Oh, okay. It seems that the scroll shows some kind of network connecting different places. Although the purpose of such a network is unclear, you're able to copy the 2 locations to your map before the scroll falls apart in your hands. Oh, okay. Neato. Cool. Let's see. A single year did come to pass, and again, a great number of Kantari ships across the sea. The ships carried an army larger than ever been witnessed, and never had the words of power afforded such a benefit to a coming invasion. Unfortunately, nothing else, though. We did get a bunch of stuff added to the map, though, which is really cool. Zemeti and a ferry. Oh, so we already had Zemeti, so we would have gotten Zemeti from here, too. And ferry. If I'm saying that right. Maybe I should have saved this for later. Like, all the... Oh, not this particular one. I mean, all the ruins, really, for later. You find an old map, but it falls apart in your hands the moment you touch it. Hold on. Ah, we missed it. Hold on. Oh, no, it's still here. Let's see if I can't. Let's see if I can't find this, like... You find an old map, but it falls apart in your hands the moment you touch it. The fragments depict a strange arc in the middle of nowhere. A stylized tower surrounded by small dwellings. Okay, the arch is added to your map. Okay, some more. This is just adding a bunch of ruins areas. Then the high magi summon beings which have no king and deign superiority to all that came before them. More immortality defies them within the mortal domain, exalting them far above kings and champions. They did then condemn the gods of chaos and their forces, casting them aside in the abyss and breaking the malefic hold on the land. Okay. So a lot of lore here. Wait, do we have anything else? I think that was it. Am I missing anything? Let's pixel hunt for just a second. I don't think I'm missing anything, but I'd hate to have missed something. If I did. I thought we worked out there was a second chamber. Didn't we work out there was like a second chamber? When we were talking to the guy? There had to have been. Right? I'm pretty sure that we did. I wonder if maybe the turning the power on. Because he said there was something under here, right? But we worked out that there had to have been something else. Maybe that strength would. Maybe that is what it relies on. I was almost entirely sure we worked out there was something else here, but I can't quite remember. We can always come back here, so we're not. If we leave, we're not locked out for good, as far as I know. I don't think anyone will loot it. Hold on, is that a, what's that? No, just a piece of rubble. I was hoping that something would have a secret button. I'm going to do this one more time. Is if the generator just turned, I have a hard time believing the generator would just turn the lights on. Maybe that just made it easier to read things? It just pixelates a little bit more. I guess there is nothing more. Hold on, let's check something real quick. Oh, hey again. How you doing? There is a second chamber. Okay, On one hand, I don't want help. On another, I guess if you want to give me a hint, could you tell me if it's in this room? That's it. That way it will split the difference. Because I did just do the generator. So I'd imagine if it's in this room, otherwise, hold on. That is a little, I don't know if that's intended. That has this little line here. I'm wondering if that's maybe a secret door. No, all of them have it. Oh, except this side. I guess that's just a little bug. Not a big deal. It is in this room. Okay. And it might be a check. If it's just like a passive kind of check thing. Hold on. We'll do a real quick check down. We're gonna do some hunting. I may have passed it, so we're gonna start. Hold on, we got this room here, right? So let's start and cancel off, and we're gonna go clockwise around. And if we can't find it, then maybe we just don't have the skills to find it. And we'll leave it there because I did just turn on the generator, so I really would be surprised if I. Hold on. This is can't go directly around, so I'm gonna go around here. Let's double check this. Click around. Okay, we already read that. Okay, so now we go up here. And this doesn't have anything in it. Okay. Then we run in here. I mean, there's a ladder there. But I guess that's just for the library. Nothing else. I mean, it could have been that we missed the thing. I mean, we can always come back if we come up with it. I don't want to. Could be. You can find on your own high perception. Okay, I don't have high perception, so it could be we just don't have the skills. I think we only have 4, so that's probably it. It's probably that. We literally went charisma and intelligence. We have made an absolute goofball of a character, but I love it. I do. As much as it can be frustrating, I do love it's probably a very different experience. And by doing it this way, I'm saving anyone else the trouble of particularly building something kind of goofy. they can build something. They can kind of learn. You know, it's so this can just be kind of a fun experiment. Hold on, let's go to the map screen then. We can always come back later on with better skills. I do want to check out the other places. The Arch. I'm going to check out the Arch. We got a bunch of places added to our map. After a long and arduous journey through the desert, you finally arrive at the site marked on your map. It's an abandoned excavation about 50 feet deep and twice as wide. Whoever did it spared no expense to unearth what lies beneath the sand, but they found nothing except an old arch. You see people around the dig site, but you can't tell who they are from this distance. Okay, let's get closer. The men aren't armed and seem to be entirely non-threatening. Okay, that is what we like to hear. We cannot get another fight like that again. Have you come to see the Oracle? Asks the first man you meet. The Oracle? He's a holy man blessed by the gods for his piety and devotion. He is living through a conduit between us and the gods, says the man with the dead certainty, as if to explain something obvious. Oh, I can understand. I can understand that. I can understand why you wouldn't want to play it through as a talker. There's a lot of the combat is a pretty big part of the game, so I could understand that. But it's fun. I feel like with the talker, you end up needing to, unless, like, I guess you're really clever, like, you're talking in combat, right? If you're talking in combat, I imagine you can do fine, like, as a Praetor. And there's, like, one kind of talking. Like, if you just go persuasion. Probably the best idea would be persuasion or streetwise. And just go just down one of them, right? Or and maybe two, because I've gone down, like, every single one of them. And just go persuasion, probably. That would probably be my advice if someone was doing it. And then do all combat. You could probably, like, have talking and stuff like that. But or lore. If you did just lore and combat, you probably could do it. But yeah, talking and being intellectual and charismatic is rough in this game. But yeah, I see what you mean. It probably is a fun way to play through it, though. So let's continue on. So how do you know that? Or so why is he sitting down? How do you know that? Everyone knows that, says the man, looking at you with pity. You only need to talk to him to see that the gods speak through him and to feel the heavy weight of their words. Okay, so why is he sitting down there? Why, asks the man, clearly astonished by your ignorance. It's a holy place of great power. This is where the gods first spoke to those who'd chosen to receive their words and share their wisdom. Chosen? Do you think that the gods would talk to just about anyone? Only the holiest among us can be chosen for the ritual. Okay, the ritual is what? I mean, what ritual is that? The elders say that one who'd speak to the gods must be able to see into both worlds, the world of men and the abode of the gods. How else would he be able to communicate with them? So the one who'd speak with the gods must remove his own eye and offer it as a sacrifice. If the offering is accepted, his eye will be taken to the realm of the gods to allow the oracle to see through it. I have heard enough. Take me to the oracle. Okay. Anything else we can kind of pixel hunt before we go in? Not see anything. Okay. Let's talk to the oracle. Oh, we probably should have maybe see if we could buy another skill. The oracle, an ancient, wizened man with a deeply lined face, slowly gets up and approaches. Gets up when you approach and looks at you. First with his good eye, and then with the empty socket that would be his left. It's a well-practiced movement that makes you feel as if the dead socket is looking into your very soul. The other men and women of the group watch intently from various relaxed positions around you. What do you seek here, traveler? Okay, I seek an ancient temple. I was told I might be able to find some clues to its whereabouts here. You stand upon holy ground. Many are the answers that may be found here if gods be willing. What is your name? Haita the Shepherd. Let's say that. You have an air of worldly man about you, Haita the Shepherd. How strong is your faith? Asks the oracle, studying intently with his dead eye. Let's say we have doubts. Let's say we have doubts. That way we don't play like we're playing coy here. We're playing kind of middle of the road because we don't know if he's gonna just give us like we're called just something like silly if we say one way. A man who doubts the gods yet comes to seek guidance from one who speaks with them. I came here seeking information for an ancient temple. I did not know I would find a holy man and his disciples. Then perhaps the gods have something to tell you. Maybe you're not here by accident, nor me. It's hard to believe in something that is never here. The legends say the gods came forth in our time of need, and if so, they left us with precious little. I look around and see the scorched land we've inherited, a people in need, and yet I see no gods. Okay, so he leaned forward, tapping his chest with one knobby finger and smiling. The faith can fill the gap between doubt and the proof. I can bring myself to envy that on some days. So what do the gods have for me in my search? Or unfortunately, the gap needs one faith. Let's complete. Okay, I'm gonna say the first one. I'm gonna be. Well, there's no reason to harass the dude. Okay, then let's see what the gods have ears for us today. Haita the shepherd. He waits patiently, then looks from you to a small, empty offering box that sits on a rough stool to his left. Tiny bell hangs gleaming from a hooked piece of iron. Has been driven from the top of the stool, and a short metal striking rod has been by a string next to it. The acolyte watches in silence. You know what? We're gonna be pretty generous. I mean, we got a whole bunch of money, and spending on equipment would be just a joke because we can't really use equipment. So the bell's high-pitched note rings out long and clear against the vast silence around you. The perfect sound steadily diminishes until only a pregnant tension hangs in the air. After several seconds of intense silence, the oracle begins to chant softly and slowly. The words, if that is what they were, sounds like gibberish to you. It begins to rock in time with the cadence of a chant and gradually increasing its speed. At one moment you are certain you hear your name amongst the twisted syllables, but is quickly carried away by the rapid flow of the chant. The oracle's one eye rolls back until nothing but white is visible, and he begins to shake violently. The chanting and tremors reach a sudden apex, then stop suddenly and completely as the old man flicks a handful of fine dust into the air from a pouch on his side. His eye glints forward and studies the cloud of silt as it settles lazily to the ground. Then muffled gasps and exaltations of the acolytes ripple around you. Without focusing on you, he calmly speaks. The gods attend us. Put forth your query. You can out oracle the oracle? That'd be hilarious with the right stuff. That'd be a fun one. I seek an ancient temple. Yeah. A moment passes. A relief slowly spreads across the old man's face. The gods are aware of your quest, and they have blessed its course. You are on the proper path, and no enemy may prosper that would stand between you and the temple. You will reach your destination. But where do I go from here? Have no fear. The gods desire for you to reach the temple, and they shall lead the way. 3 signs they will send. Watch closely with the eyes of faith, and for one time only will each sign be revealed. This isn't very helpful. Not a very faithful beginning to a faith-based quest search. Okay, take care that you not miss the first sign, and is rest now. The oracle collects the offering into a small pouch and moves to a seat with the cool shade of the arch. The oracle begins collecting your offering into a large pouch at his side. He pauses and sighs. The god's ways are mysterious, he says almost apologetically. It can be frustrating even for one such as me. Tell me, why do you seek the temple? We could do... Okay, do we want to be honest with this guy? Do we want to be honest? I think we're going to say to uncover its mysteries. Then take hope. The gods have blessed your journey. They seem to have an interest in your prying into those matters, those mysteries. Do you have time for a few more questions? The old man waves away the lingering acolytes who disperse into to their mundane chores, and then motions you to follow him to the shade of the arch. What do you know of this place? And of the arch, or yeah, it is a holy place chosen by the gods in the early days of for communicating for those who were most worthy. In those days, the gods spoke more freely and frequently. Maybe we were more worthy then. Who can know? Can you imagine living at that time, Haita? Conversing directly with the deities? Being judged worthy enough to bathe in the divine light that would herald the gods' coming? It was here. He opens his arms widely, as broadly as if to embrace his surroundings. It was all here. Our ancestors entrusted us with keeping vigil and watching for the next coming. Our stories and prophecies have been passed down from one oracle to the next. One early prophecy speaks of the day in which the gods will return, and the 3 signs will foretell their arrival. Divine light shining upon, once again upon, he pats the stones upon which he leans. This arch will be the very first sign. Okay. What are the other signs? The first sign alone was revealed to the early keepers. They were tasked with sending swift messages to the Magi, but the Magi are long gone. We are alone and shall be the first to greet the gods upon their return. That's interesting. Okay, so what do you think the gods left us? Why do you think the gods left us? How is it that you communicate with the gods even now? Do you not live in fear here in the wastes? Okay, why do you think the gods left us? Let's do that one. As I've said, the gods are beyond the gods' ways are beyond our understanding. We cannot grasp them any more than we can pluck stars from the night sky, but they are not completely gone. Okay, so how is it that you can communicate with the gods even now? We may communicate with the gods even you spoke with them today. He taps at his ear. And the gods are always speaking to us, but most cannot or choose not to hear. They bear closed minds and hearts that have been shut off to the divine. All they hear are just their own desires echoing around in the darkness of their souls. It takes much prayer and meditation to hear the whispers of the divine above our own wishful thoughts. Okay, so why do people come to you then? Most folks come to me, and yes, there are most folks that come to me, and yes, there are a few. Yes, they are few, come wanting to believe. They want to believe that the gods are still here, or if not here, somewhere. Paying attention to their minuscule existence, they look around and see raiders and nobles who are hardly indistinguishable. They grind themselves into the ground every day, eking out the barest survival. The only thing is in abundance in this world seems to be hardship and suffering. They want to believe. They need it. Okay, so you put on a show and give everyone some hope. Give them some hope. No, I help them see the truth. Being surrounded by a world such as this, what do they think if they travel to see me and find an old man sitting without pomp or fanfare on a bare stone in the waste? The arch is a holy sight, but they do not know that. And if I share with them the God's wisdom as if in conversation with a neighbor at the tavern, they doubt the validity of my claims. Simple people want to believe that petitioning the gods is a life-changing event. Old man on rock speaking sagely does not look like a genuine article to them. So I give them a little of what they want so that they can, so that it will receive what they need. Okay. So the spectacle is false, but the message is true. When we go to the gods for answers, they will answer. Sometimes it's difficult to hear them. It's taken many years of meditation to hear the guidance. Still, it is not easy. Their words swirl within us in a dust storm of our own doubts, aspirations, and pride. But with a focus, one can bring the divine words to the fore and see them for what they are. Okay, you seem certain. How can you believe it? I admit it's not always easy when you live your whole life communing with the gods and are always left guessing at their answers. Even a great oracle can feel lost. It shames me to admit it. He stares wistfully into the distance. I can think in the old days it was easier. The gods spoke and we heard with our ears, not with our hearts. But I keep faith and do my best to tell others what I believe the gods are saying. Okay, do you not live in fear here in the wastes? Fear of what? Starvation? We work hard to keep a modest crop. We use what little money we receive for buying basics from the rare traveling merchant. or we occasionally make a visit to a town or for simple supplies. As you can probably guess, our meals are meager and sufficient. Raiders, there's hardly enough food or material value here to make it worth it for raiders. It does happen though. They make part of us slaves. They might take part of us as slaves, but they may not. I'm the 26th oracle in 400 years. Oh gosh. Some of us even manage to die of old age, or so it is said. Some of us are taken. But what can we do? We are not warriors, and we cannot leave our vigil. It is our duty to keep the holy ground and watch for our gods, just as the soldier marches to battle, knowing he will pay with his life. So we stand watch at our post. Okay. I'm gonna check out this arch. Okay, hold on. Before we do, can I improve my? No, I cannot improve anything. That would probably matter to this. So. You're standing in front of the arch. Other than its size, it looks completely ordinary. Old and dusty with a few cracks here and there. You walk around looking for anything unusual, but find nothing of interest. I'm not sure if that's because it is just plain old and unusual, or that nothing is unusual about it, or if it's actually that we just aren't perceptive enough. I don't know. We got nobody else to talk to here, I don't think. Alright, we got another place to go to, though. We do have another place to go to, if I remember. There's a lot of crazy stuff in this. Yeah, I imagine the game seems very deep. I would agree with that. Seems like there's a lot to it. Which is really interesting. It's just really interesting. I do feel like I'm missing some of it, but I think that's not a bad thing. I think it's actually a good thing, because that, for one, I guess saves it for if someone wants to do that. But also, it makes it replayable. I don't like missing stuff that'd be important, like to know. But I feel like in this game, I'm not missing stuff that. I'm not missing anything that would hurt the story. I think I'm missing I think you're missing stuff that are just more path oriented. That's my guess, though. It's hard to say what you're missing without knowing what you're missing. So, from my understanding, though, it's really neat, that the whole game can kind of keep cognizance, despite having all these different things. Because I could be really helping the other groups far more than this. I could already be attacking that city, or vice versa, or doing whatever we could, in regards to that. But as you get close to Inferii, however it's spelled or pronounced, you see more and more villagers going about their business. As they notice you, they drop what they're doing and follow you back to the village. By the time you reach it, there's a large crowd tailing you at the moment. They don't seem to pose any danger to you, rather than a proper village or settlement. Inferii turns out to be a small group of makeshift dwellings sitting on a hill overlooking the desert. When you get closer, you see the dwellings circle a large area at the crest of the hill, decorated with stones. The stones form what appears to resemble a giant eye. Excuse me. With a gaping hole in the middle where the iris should be. Alright. For some reason, the idea of a hole and an eye made me think of Dead Space. Oh boy. Alright, let's continue on. Because the whole self-eye surgery in that game. Oof. One of the villagers assumed the role of a guide and points at the dwellings on the outskirts of the village. The dwelling is surrounded by patches of strange plants growing out of the sand. Okay, go inside. You're standing in a small room filled with various plants that leave just enough space for a bed. Occupied by a dried-up crone, one of the villagers respectively taps her on the shoulder and whispers something to her ear. The crone gestures, looking irritated, and the villagers fall back, leaving you alone with her. She slowly gets up, sighs, and comes closer to take a good look at you. Well, 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 she says in a low, raspy voice. Look what the wind blew in. Okay. She fixes you with a hard stare and scoffs with her withered lips twisting and moving as if searching for the right words to express her displeasure. So what am I supposed to do with you? Why should you do anything? What do you do when your garden sprouts weeds? You remove them without pity, even though a weed is a living thing and wants to live as much as everything else. Oh gosh, what's just everything else does? If you don't, they will ruin the garden. Gosh, I just showed up! You don't have to worry about me. I'm here to ask you a few questions. I'll be on my way. We'll see about that, won't we? Why did you come here? What is it that you seek? I'm looking for the temple of Thor Agoth. Do you see any temple around here? She scoffs again. Why are you looking for it? Okay, the Lord I serve wants you to find it. It holds the answer to many questions. Let's do that, because I don't know how they think of leadership. And it holds answers to many questions. It holds a lot more than that. How do you know that? I visited it, and when I was I visited it, and when I was young and curious, I walked down the ancient halls, held in my hands the relics of the gods left behind. I sat where the Magi did. And when they came in droves to learn the knowledge that didn't belong in this world. I've even looked down at the sleeping god that lies there, and wondered if the kiss of a fair maiden, don't look at me, I wasn't born old, okay, would have the power to wake him. But even then, the crone raises her voice suddenly. I had the wisdom not to touch things I don't understand, and leave them alone. Wisdom your kind lacks. Okay. So the guy is still there, sleeping? Why wouldn't he be? It's not like he has anywhere else to go, cackles the crone. What if the gods can make things better, can fix all this? What if he makes things worse? Counters the crone. That's the difference between town dwellers and desert folk. You always hope. She spits the word hope as if it were an insult. You hope that the Lord will be merciful. Hope that the guards won't harass you. Hope that the store owner will take pity on you. Hope that levies won't be raised too much this year. Hope that the prices won't go up. And hope that there will be work tomorrow. You're so used to hoping that someone will take care of you that you're ready to believe in just about anything as long as it promises you new hope. Let's go over there. Let's see what our intelligence success is. You seem to know a lot about town life, or someone who isn't. Okay, let's do that one. Oh, there we go. I was born in Mataran, says the crone suddenly. Before the first exodus, the city was different back then. Filled to the brim with people, like an overused latrine that hasn't been cleared in a while. Smelled the same too. That reminds me of the most. That's what I remember the most. The smell. We lived like animals, sleeping together in the warm, eating scraps, fighting for what little we had. Not much of a life that was. Yet people fought for it and died for it. As long as it won't get worse, my mother used to say, like a prayer that went unanswered. Every year things got worse, and every year she said the same thing. It took me years to understand what she meant. Anything that we could do, anything we could survive wasn't the worst. Anything we could survive wasn't the worst. Anything we could survive, we could get used to and learn to live with, as long as things won't get worse. As the crone, smiling grimly. The first exodus. That's what we called it. The guards rounded up everyone the city didn't need, and sent them off into to the desert. It was time for them to reclaim the land and take back what was rightfully theirs, they said, as an opportunity for the right kind of people, smiles the crone. My mother was devastated, but I remember it was my first real holiday. Fresh air, plenty of space, clean water that didn't smell like a latrine. First time I ate fresh meat, I kept looking for maggots and wondering where they were. Before that, I had never had anything save from some rotten scraps. Water in the desert? The desert is harsh, but not lifeless. It has good enough food and water to sustain you, if you know where to look. In the cities, food and water are plentiful, but only if you can afford it. If you don't, you better get used to the scraps of rotten meat and dirty water. She's in the know. Is that what? Let me know that. Oh God, you can't do everything. Yeah, it does seem like one of those games where you can't do everything in one playthrough. I'd agree with that one. I very much agree with that, based off what I've seen so far. And it does seem like she's being pretty straightforward and honest with us, so I guess I appreciate that. What happened to the people who left? Most of them died. They begged for scraps and hoped that tomorrow would be a better day somehow instead of doing something to ensure their survival. It doesn't surprise me anymore, seeing what I've seen, she says, shaking her head slowly, her eyes distant. Believing in miracles and someone coming to save you is different than believing in your own ability to do whatever it takes to save yourself. Most people who left the city with us didn't have that belief. I think they were waiting for the first opportunity to give up in the desert. You don't need to wait long. How did you end up here? We moved around a lot. The desert is in constant motion. To survive, you need to move too. You learn to feel the desert, the winds, the shifting sands, water in the oasis, I think that's how you pronounce it, and follow them. Eventually, the desert led us here to her holy place. Okay, it seems that you've adapted well to the desert. Okay. Let's say... I think I'll probably get another chance. Yeah, okay. The kingdoms will rise and fall, but the desert will always be here. Her ways are harsh, but her children are strong and will survive where softer folk won't. Okay, I saw a strange place in the middle of the village. What is that? A remnant of another age. The desert claimed it, preserved, led us to it. The predators avoid it. Animals feel things that we don't. Shamans get stronger dreams here, so they come every now and then. And bringing gifts and the sacrifice. The sacrifice? Crone shrugs. We stick to the old ways here. To receive, you must give. She doesn't elaborate. Can I go down there? Oh, no. That's not the question I'd be asking after being... They just said sacrifice. I don't know if I'd be volunteering. Oh, yeah. It's just... So, I won't... okay. So she might try to get rid of us. Maybe. Can I go down there? I won't stop you if you choose to do so, but you won't be coming back. Even if you survive, you will not stay down. You will stay down there. These people believe there is a holy place. I cannot have them I cannot have them see you emerging from the underworld alive. You go down there, you stay down there. That's the deal I offer, and there won't be any other. Oh boy. I don't have good sneak, so I don't think I'm going to be able to sneak up in the middle of the... some other time, maybe. We'll work it out. Take a closer look. Oh, can we not? This village surrounds you, but the crone shakes her head and steps back instantly, obeying instantly without questions. Leave this place while you can. Uh-oh. Take a closer look. On one hand, I want to know it's in there, but I'm pretty sure that if they just dump people in there, that's I'm not expecting to get out. Let's see. Guard stops us. The guard, this way is, can I take a look? Oh, he pushes us down. Of course. Of course he does. Of course he does. We just put it on look. You land on a pile of rotten corpses and the smell making you gag. Slowly, you get up and around. You're standing on a large chamber that looks strangely familiar. The only light source is in the opening above your head, the way out of reach. 2 honor guards are posted there to discourage you from trying to escape. They look down with interest, exchanging comments. Explore. Surprisingly, the tower, or what is left of it, is still operational. A deep humming sound fills your ears, and seemingly coming from everywhere at once. And the floor under your feet is alive with vibrations. The air is thick and acrid, smelling of sulfur, rock oil, and other unidentifiable things. An already familiar stone demon is patrolling the dark hallway. It's damaged. The stone surface is broken in many places, but it looks like the head has suffered the most damage. Suddenly, as if reading your thoughts, the demon stops and turns towards you. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to kill me. It's damaged in the head, so I'm imagining that it's... I want to just try to sneak. I'm pretty sure it's going to just spot me. Let's talk to it. This is probably going to work. Intruder, the demon asks with uncertainty. Oh, intruder? More like that. Intruder? The demon asks with uncertainty, standing closer. You can see a chunk of its head has been sliced cleanly, and which must have been affected his mental capacity. I come in peace? Intruder. Oh, impersonate? I don't have impersonate. It's the one skill I don't have. Intruders, says the demon. They always come. I kill them. More comes. Always come. Always kill. Okay, I'm gonna just try to impersonate. Oh, success. Who knows? Well, I guess he isn't like the brightest, so it shouldn't be that hard, I guess. He isn't my master, says the demon, but it doesn't advance any further. What does he want? Okay, persuasion or streetwise. I'm not sure which one would be harder. Let's listen. Your master has been slain. Marcus Dominus Crassus is your new master now. He has asked me to make sure that everything is running smoothly. So what happened here? Or what do you think he wants? This tower is falling apart. Intruders are coming in waves. And you have the nerve to ask what the great mage just wants? What happened here? Now this is a rough one. I said that's what my name was, right? So I'm gonna say I'm his master. Okay. The demon looks at you suspiciously, as if doubting, that someone like you could be of any help to him. But he already accepted the idea that you're some kind of emissary, and isn't planning to revisit it. Shields failed, sustained extensive damage, lost structural integrity, lost power, insufficient resources for repairs, salvaged parts, restored converter, reconstructed portal, revised portal level 12%, system core ready. So what can we do here? Follow me. The demon turns around and walks toward the stairs leading to the lower level. Oh, we're getting a lot of points, but we haven't spent. Oh, we've been in a place like this before. That specific place. The demon moves to the console and puts his hands on the controls. The air in the chamber thickens. Pressure building, the humming noise is growing louder, stronger. The demon's arms move with speed and precision as the charged air cracks with a small floating sphere of glowing matter appears above the pentagram. The pentagram's lines flash bright red as the sphere starts expanding, charging the air around it. Lightning strikes the wall above your head. Another hits the floor. The unfazed, the demon pushes a large lever forward, and the sphere shrinks its size in a bit and loses some intensity. It floats midair, shivering and contracting, a corona of strange energy flaring up around it and discharging. 32%, says the demon after tapping some dials. 30, 34, 31, stable. New orders? Refresh my memory. Now, if I remember correctly, actually, just saying for myself here, that thing we had to leave at some point because it was like threatening to kill us. Not because, like literally, but because by being in the room. Yeah, impersonate. I was worried. Introduce. You can talk at the guy fairly easy. Oh no, is impersonate bad? Oh no, we're getting saving. I think we're in it too deep now. I think we're in it too deep. Refresh my memory. What can we do with all this? Without the master, without the databanks, not much. Do I have enough power to release a burst of energy? It will fry anything in a 100-meter radius. It's a good way to keep the enemy at bay. Oh. Oh, so we could do... Okay. Do it, and Inferi is about to become a ghost village. Tell me about the portal, and tell me about the databanks. Let's do that. Tell me about the portal. Simple. Go through it and come out somewhere else. Simple. So where does the portal other portal is? Says the demon, sounding more confident. Now the conversation is shifted to subjects that don't require any interpretation. If it's powered up and ready to receive. So where does the portal lead to? Maldoran. The master went there when the shields failed. Next moment, the tower collapsed. I don't know how long I was under the debris. When I dug myself out, I rebuilt the portal and waited for the master to return. Can you change the destination? Or why did he go to Mataran? How long ago was that? I don't know. A year? 2? Asked the demon, sounding confused again. Why did he go to Mataran? To warn them. To warn the first of the Magi. So this is a long time ago. Okay, Balzar. Balzar, nobody else had the power to breach the defenses my master employed. Who or what is this Balzar? The first of the Yazatas. The first to be welcomed. The first to bite the hand that fed him. The Yazatas worthy of worship? That's the kind it was called. That's what of his kind was called. Can you change the destination, or let me ask you something else? It is in the databank, says the demon, pointing at the crystal semi-sphere. This one is empty, a replacement of the one that has been destroyed. What is the crystal? Not crystal, glass, fused silica, cheaper than sapphire, better than crystal and glass, better transmission, low expansion, easily replaceable. Can you show me how to use it? Oh, we got a lot of successes here. The demon looks at you strangely, as struggling with such an odd request, then goes to the semi-sphere and gives you a quick tour. He moves too fast and uses words and concepts you don't understand, but you get the basic functions. Hopefully you can figure out the rest as you go. Let me ask you something else. Tell me about the databanks. There is nothing here, says the demon, pointing at the crystal semi-sphere. It's empty, a replacement of the one that was destroyed. Okay, I'm gonna leave. Hopefully he stays here. Okay, he stayed here. I think I'm gonna leave off here because we gotta decide whether we're gonna glass that place above us. Oh, you thought I want to be able to pass the 0? Yeah, I have 0 impersonate. Let's actually look at our impersonate. I have 0 impersonate if I remember correctly, right? I have 1, which is 0. 1 is 0. So 1 is just the bottom. My body count of 1. I've killed 1 person in this game. Oh gosh. Prestige is pretty nice. Word of honor. Loyalty, there's nothing I could have really done about that. But impersonate, yeah, it's disguise. What fools do during a carnivals? That's my skill level. But we do have a lot of points, and I could go even higher in lore or crafting or stuff like that. But I'll have to think about that one. This is a fun one. I want to probably leave it off before we do something too dramatic, like glassing an entire town with a energy wave. I mean, on one hand, the lady was really nice. On the other hand, the guard kicked me in. You know, it's a it's a bit of a doozy. It's a bit of a doozy on which one to do. And who knows? I could really mess with them by coming here again. And what could they do to me? Throw me back in? I mean, I guess they could stab me. I guess they could try to stab me. Yeah, I'm going to save here. I think I'm going to save here, but thank you guys for watching. I'm going to save. Would it be too much of a spoil? I'm going to save here with me and my buddy. Me and my buddy hanging out. We're caught. So, hope you guys had a good one. Hope it was fun. I hope this one was a really fun adventure. So, have a good one. And see you later in the week. Or next week when we do this again on Wednesday. So, have a good one. All right. Bye.